Okay, this is a Bob Thompson D28 copy. It's made out of Indian rosewood. Here's the back. There's no back strip in it. It almost looks like a single piece of wood, but you can find the changes on it. It has a cooked Adirondack spruce top, so a torrefied top. The binding looks like maple or something. It's a real pretty binding. Got some color to it. And what else can we say about it? The neck? You know, I'm having trouble with the neck. The neck is big, feels wide, and it's very flat shaped on the back. It's almost like a classical guitar neck. And so for me, there's no shoulder up here. There's no V or anything like that, and it's not a comfortable neck for me. I'm sure it's a comfortable neck for some people, especially if you do bar chords. It's definitely a bar chord kind of neck, but I'm having trouble with it. It's just not my favorite kind of neck. But the guitar is kind of different from your standard Martin. It's got X bracing, which is normal, but on the back right here it has a fan bracing. So it comes like this, and 5 strips right here, fan bracing coming off the bridge. The bridge has got this feature here, a design, where it's scalped back here in the back, and that gives you a very, very strong break angle right there. Also, if you notice, there's almost no compensation going on the bridge. It seems that the builder did quite a bit of compensation up here at the nut. The nut is sitting a little bit crooked, a little bit angled. But it's in tune. I mean, so, you know, it's in tune, so, you know, that works. I'm not sure what the logic is between putting the bridge on straight. Gives you a consistent break angle on the pins. That's one thing. You could do that by tilting the pins, but you know, you get straight pins and straight saddles. So, oh well, that's his deal, you know. So on the whole, it's a pretty good guitar. I wouldn't want this neck on mine if I was going to get one made for me. I'd want a different neck, and that's just me again. So I'm going to compare it now to the Martin D28 1937 Authentic, just so that you have a guitar for comparison, and you can hear the differences in tone between the two. So here's my standard set of little licks and comparison stuff. Ready? observations from playing the guitar, it's very boomy guitar. When I scallop braces on 1970s D28s and D18s and stuff, I've been doing this for about 20 years or so. I've done it in various ways, and what I have found is that if you scallop the X braces, you get a deeper bass, but you don't get a woof out of it. So you can take a scallop brace D28 or D18 and you can add a little bit more bass to it without getting a woof percussion sound. When you hit the tone bars and scallop the tone bars, then that's where the woof comes from. So the tone bars are back here, and when you scallop those, that's where you get that woof sound. And so playing this guitar, I hear a lot of woof, and I immediately stuck my mirror in there and found that fan bracing. And so, I'm pretty sure what's going on here is that the back of the guitar right here is really loose and woof, 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 gives a woofy sound. To me, it's almost a little too much. I prefer the treble punch of the 37 Authentic, and a lot of times on a 70s Martin, I don't even scallop the tone bars. I just scallop the X braces. Depends on what kind of sound the customer wants. Sometimes where he lives, because if it's humid, I've found that woofy guitars will get really woofy when it gets humid. They get dull. They lose all of their treble crispness. They like to be, woofy guitars for me, like to be a little bit on the dry side, so they're a little tight, so they get woofy sound, but they still have the bright treble snap to it. If it doesn't have that trebly snap, I tend to not like it as much. So again, that's just my personal preferences and stuff. But the minute I played this guitar, I said, that's a woofy. It's going to have light tone braces, and that's what I found when I looked inside of it. So it's a pretty new guitar. See how it handles, being 20 years old or something. It might get too woofy. I don't know, We'll see. But I know that I'm cautious when I'm scalloping braces, is I don't want the sound that I want right away. I want to stop just short of that and give it a year, 2 years even, to develop into that tone. If you get the tone that you want right now, as the guitar ages, it's going to go past that. So, on the whole, though, these are really popular guitars. The workmanship is really, really nice on the outside here. The binding is really spectacular. It's pretty. It's got a good tuner. It's got a good headstock. It's heavy. I will say that. I put it on my scale and it's 2,200 grams, whereas my 37 Authentic is 2,000 grams. And I noticed the weight, right away. It has tall back braces, which, if you were to shave them down, it would make it even woofier, so I wouldn't do that. The back has got a good tap tone to it. I mean, it's nice. It's pretty even, but it's loose. I can feel it hitting me in the ribs. Bam. I can feel that. So, they're good guitars. I'd want a different neck profile. I would want. That's about it. I just want a little bit different neck profile on a personal guitar. So, my job is actually to raise the action on this one. All right, Bob Thompson, D28 style.